Hey everyone, good evening. Welcome to session 2 of the pen portrait session with Soulflow. Now, for yesterday's session, we tried to understand some basic contouring based off the anatomical features. So apart from looking at the skull, apart from looking at the structure of the facial muscles, you can really analyze photographs. I had shared some sample photographs. You can really analyze them and try to get a look into the face in depth, understanding the curves, the folds, the features, and all of that. How many of you did it? I know Rosina did it. I know Rosina did it. Apart from that, how many of you did it? Tell me honestly. Guys, I know. I mean, there is much, what do you say, there is much stuff that can be done. I'm working on it. Oh, I saw your self-portrait, by the way. Congratulations to all of you who did the self-portrait. Amazing. Regardless, I mean, some of your drawings are already really good. I mean, Gayatri's drawing. Is Usha here? Has Usha joined in? Usha already did a complete pen portrait with a sketch and an ink. I'm like, what have I left to teach you now? You've done everything. And good work on Rosina as well. Your drawing is also has been done really well. Deepak, man, it's really good. You tried shading, you did all of it. So regardless of whatever we did, all of your drawings, I really liked all of your drawings. So congratulations to all of you for attempting it. If you haven't done it yet, please attempt. Okay, please attempt. I'm a little sad for those of you who didn't yet fully do it, because after today's session, it's about some slight corrections that you can bring into the features that you ordered. And before we learn the features in depth, when we are analyzing a portrait, when we are drawing a portrait, what is most important to understand is an understanding of the face in length. So as I told you, the first thing is you need to understand how the part relates to how all of this, I mean, how all of these parts relates in total. Otherwise, you're just going to make a mess of the drawing, regardless of whatever is it. You're just going to make a mess. So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. I want you all to take your paper. Okay, if you have tracing paper, you can use it. If you have tracing papers, kindly use it. Okay, if not, you can use your regular paper, but I would say tracing papers would be the best. Tracing papers would be the best for the exercise that we are going to do right now. On your tracing paper, I want you to make square grids. I hope you have your scales ready with you. Yes, you all have your tracing paper, scales, pencils ready with you. Let's make some square grids. Okay, so those of you who are a little disappointed that we hadn't had drawing yesterday, we are starting with drawing today. Let's get on. There are some participants who are yet to join in. It's okay. It's okay. Let's begin.
What size grids, Niranjan?
2 centimeter by 2 centimeter. I would say. I mean, it depends on your paper, Harini. If you're drawing on an A5, if it's an A5 thing, I would say just go for a what you say 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. If it is A4, go for 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter.
In a portrait class, there are no portraits visible. Why are your cameras off, guys? You only get to see my face and Amma's face all day. How will he draw portraits if he doesn't see your face? Show your face, guys.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Please, guys, show your beautiful faces also. Rasika, turn on your cameras.
Guys, you can start drawing the grids. I'll just be back. I want you all to, so the grids that you're going to make, don't just make any random grids. The grid that you're going to make is exactly going to measure 7 squares, 7 squares and 7 squares. You can either go for a 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, provided you are using an A5 paper, or if it is A4 paper, I would prefer you work this on an A4 paper because it's an exercise that requires comprehensive understanding. I want you to make 7 centimeters by 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. So in total 14 by 14 square grid, and make this on a tracing paper, not your regular paper. I'm drawing this on a tracing paper. Okay. This is going to be a basic grid that you're going to be working on at the time. But it has to
Is
be
it
14 by 14.
7 squares by 7 squares?
Yes, 7 squares by 7 squares, but not necessarily 7 centimeters
Okay,
by
okay.
7 centimeters. Yes.
Hi, Niranjan, back with the same grid
Right.
size question. Now, all the squares have to be
Yes.
equal size, no, in the grids?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm making 2 centimeter squares. You can make it 1 centimeter squares if you wish, but I would say you can even make 3 centimeters, make it big, or you can make 1.5 centimeters.
Right.
Right. Whatever it is, it has to be uniform squares. It has to be uniform. You'll understand why we are doing this exercise. Thank you so much for asking. I mean, this your question, several others would be having the same questions as well. Seven by 7 uniform square grid. Let me place this here. If you have a roller scale, you heard of roller scale. Roller scale is an equipment that we sometimes use to get these uniform square stuff. 15, 12, 10. 12, 12, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yes.
Niranjan, are we drawing 8 by 8 squares?
8 by 8 is also fine, but not less than 7 by 7. I mean, 7 by 7 is all that is needed. You don't need to go beyond 7 by 7.
7 by 7. Okay.
Yeah. Not 7 centimeter by 7 centimeter. Okay. It has to be multiples of 7. You can make 21 by 21 centimeters by 21 centimeters. You can make
Okay.
14 centimeters by 14 centimeters, which is what I have made. Or you can make what you say?
So yours is 14, Niranjan, 14 by 14, is it?
Yes. I would say 14 by 14. What paper size are you drawing on, Hina?
A4.
A4. Make it 14 by 14.
Okay.
Make it 14 by 14, not less than 14 by 14. Solid.
We have to do with different color pen.
What? Sorry?
We need to use different colored pen.
Okay. I am using this red for the ease of explanation because this is going to be the basic grids. Like, see, when we start drawing portraits today, now we are going to draw your first portrait. It's going to be a very generic portrait. So, but we are going to be using a lot of grids and other stuff to first understand the anatomy as a whole, decode the anatomy as a whole. Therefore, I'm asking you to use this. Okay. I've made my square grid. You can also name it. You can also label it neatly. You can label it as, you can label this as, like if you want to start this as A, this rows as A, you can know it A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7. And then this one I'm naming it as 1 dash, or I can, I can just go for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I can go vertical. I can go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That. So I can easily locate the grid. A1, like I can say what you say, A1, B2, like that I can say, or I can name it as C2, C3, C4. Like I can locate this in this. All right. So respond with S if you have done so far. We are going for a square grid, multiples of 7, and you have also labeled this. I have used this as red for the ease of explaining it. Pratya has done it. Anyone who hasn't done it? Anyone whom I should wait for? Harini, hey Jyoti, welcome in. If you haven't attended yesterday's session, don't worry. Today's is a fresh start, fresh beginning. So you will all be able to catch up. Hey Rasika, how far are we on this? Hey Shalini.
Yeah.
Done?
Yeah.
Yes. How about Meghalite? Done. Great. So I'm moving on with your permission here. So I want you to do this thing here. I want you to do this. The first thing that you're going to do is on this, okay? On this one, you are going to divide this into, you are going to locate the center of this. And then you're going to, using a compass, you're going to draw a circle. If you don't have a compass, just don't worry, don't get agitated. Just draw, just sketch. I mean, you're out by now, you're experts at sketching. By the center, I mean, you had to spot the exact locus. Okay. The exact locus. We have the center here. Let's also draw another line centrally to just denote that this is the center. This is the center. I'm using a boulder, pen, a pen, and just drawing a dotted line to indicate the center. Try to bring in some demarcation between the other line. If not, if you are not using a different color, use a dotted line. Whatever it is, try to bring in this difference. All right. So you've done this. Now the next thing that you're going to be doing is after the second grid, On the third grid, the center of the third grid, you are going to place your compass. The center of the third grid, you're going to place your compass, and you are going to have to draw a circle around it. Is there anyone here who doesn't have a compass? I'm worried. Is there anyone here who doesn't have a compass? Because I thought compass was a very basic material and I didn't give it much, like importance. So I want you to take this as the center. I want you to put this as this extreme. So using the center, let me zoom out this thing again. I mean, it's very difficult to zoom out beyond a certain limit.
What's the radius of the circle, Niranjan?
Yeah. So the radius of the circle, see, I'm taking this thing here. So you're going to be taking the third one. Okay, the third one, you're going to take the radius of it. So the radius from what 5 centimeters, my radius is at 4, is at 5 centimeters.
5
For you, it has to be from the center of the third one, along the center line. Okay, places along the center line.
And 5 centimeter circle, is it?
Yes, 5 centimeters circle. You're going to draw another circle. You will notice that there is one grid here that is left. One grid here that is left. Apart from that, everything else falls in correct alignment.
Niranjan, could you explain the circle bit again? I don't think I understood.
Yes. So what you're going to do is you are going to take the third grid. So you see this, Vichita, do you see this central line? Have you drawn the center line?
Yes.
Now, leave 2 square grids. On
Okay.
the third square grid, locate the center of this. Along the center, you are going to have to draw a circle. So you're going to, the radius according to me is, each of this is 2 centimeters now. 2 centimeter, 2 centimeter, and the next center, 5 centimeters. So you're going to draw a circle with radius 5 centimeters. Yes?
Okay.
You will notice that to see if your square, if your circle is correct, you'll see that it is drawn in such a way that there is 1 centimeter that is left here. Yeah. Just 1 centimeter that is left here.
Okay, thank you.
Done so far? Next, what you're going to draw is you're going to find the, see this from a certain point. This just goes down. See, if you look at this, I don't know what it's called geometrically, a chord. If you just extend this outwards from a certain point, it just starts going outwards. You're going to have to leave 1 centimeter. I mean, not 1 centimeter, 1 square grid here. It's 2 centimeters, and then you're going to have to draw a line that goes this way, leaving this one here and here as well. You're just leaving this one, and then you're just drawing such that it connects. Okay, so now this looks like that location finder on that Google Maps. Are we done so far? Yes, are we done so far? Next, what you're going to draw is, stay with me step by step, because if you get at any of the stage, if you go wrong, you will be at a loss of what just happened. Now what I want you to draw.
Have you drawn
Yes.
2 circles or 1 circle?
Sorry.
Have you drawn 2 circles or 1 circle?
Okay. So what we did was, okay, I understand where this confusion is coming from, Usha. Firstly, what I did was I located the center of this, which is why I first made this X. I located the center of this entire structure, this entire square grid, and I drew a vertical grid, vertical dotted line. Then what I did was I left from the top. So from this is at A4. From the top, I left 2 squares, and at the third square, the center of the third square, I drew a circle. That is the only circle I have drawn.
Yeah, okay, that's what
That's
okay.
all it is. I understand. We found 2. We located 2 centers. That's why you just got confused, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Now what? Now let's do one thing here. On this one, see, on this one, we will just draw a face on this. So many of you attempted self-portraits. What I want you to do is I want you to just develop a face out of this. Don't worry about the exact. Don't worry about the features. Just develop this to a face. So this circle is here. We have the circular outline. What else do we need to turn this to a face? We can probably just extend this a little bit more outwards. See this? Extend this a little bit more outwards. Let this also come. Yes. See, let this just along this line, just draw a curved line here. Draw another line that extends from this point. So from what you say, it is at D2. From D2, just extend this to the center of this. So that will get you a face that is fairly correct enough, proportionate enough. You need to leave one unit here, and then you're going to have to draw this. Get it? Yes. Let's ink this. Let's ink an outline for this. Yes, is this what you're getting? See, we drew this. It's true that we drew this line. I don't want your line to go this way. Don't make it that. We just did that to look at this point here. So we're done. It's okay if your face is a little sharp as well. Just I want you to do this. Isn't Tanvi here? Oh, Tanvi isn't here. Oh yes, Tanvi is here. Hey, nice work on your self-portrait. I just joined. Okay, you just joined. So you missed the part where this. Why? What happened? Like, weren't you aware that we would be having session at this time? Okay. So did you draw the square grid part? It's okay. I mean, you can just pay attention. You can just listen. Don't try to put, like, don't force yourself into drawing. Just listen, and you can catch up with the recording. Yeah. You can just watch and catch up. Okay. So we have done so far. Now what I want you to do is we will be drawing some more lines along this. Okay. So what you're going to do is, let's first draw a horizontal line at this one grid here. We place one grid here. We will draw a horizontal dotted line along this. Since I've used a different colored marker, I can separately indicate this. If that is not possible, if you just do one line, just leave some line. Some space you need to leave, and then just draw a dotted line below it. Just highlight this space, or you can use a different color. You can use a different color over this, whatever works for you. Right. The point is to indicate this space, indicate this as, you know, like at this space is something of very unique. Okay. Next, the next thing what you're going to be doing is you are going to locate the center of this entire thing along the center, which is D. Along this D row, you are going to draw another horizontal line, dotted line. We can even extend this outside of this grid, no problem. The point is it has to go along the center this way. Yes. Next, the next thing that you're going to do is, yes. So this is coming at, okay, so this line has to come at, you can, let's label these lines. So we will label this line as line X. Okay, I hope these labeling doesn't confuse you. I'm just labeling it so that it's easier for you to follow up. I will label this as line Y. This line X, which is the line on the top, is just placed one unit below. This line Y, from here on, I'm going to indicate it as number of units, is placed at 3.5 units below, and according to my drawing is at 7 centimeters. Depends on how you have drawn, but it is at 3.5 units below. Check that. Next thing that you're going to do is, in between both of this, you are going to draw another line, another dotted line in between. So that means this is at 3.5 units, this is at 7 units. What will be in between this? See, how many units do I have between? 1, 2, 3, 3.5 units I have, right? So that means at 1 point, I need to leave 1.75 units. So I have 1 unit here, half a unit here. Okay, we have a half unit here, 1 unit here, and then another quarter unit here. See that? This is half unit, 1 unit, another quarter unit. So basically, according to mine,
basically it's another 3.5 centimeter, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
In between this, so in between this and this, you're going to draw another line. It's this line is it?
Dotted line.
Yeah. Another dotted line. Okay. And what comes in between both of these? What comes in between both of these? So this is at 3.5 units. Again, let's leave another thing at 3.5 centimeter. Again, let's leave another thing at 1.75 centimeters. Yes. I'll just name this as, this is Z and this is, I don't know, Z dash. I'll just name it, yeah, Z dash. Don't worry too much about the labeling part. The important thing is at these stages, you're going to get these lines.
Niranjan,
Yes.
what is the measurement for Z dash?
Okay, Z dash, see, rather than the centimeter, in centimeters, this is according to my 14 by centimeters square grid, it is coming at 12.5 centimeters. It is coming at 12.5 centimeters. But the important thing is once you have obtained this one, it is in between this, the midpoint of this where you're going to place the next line. Get it?
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Okay, so we've done this. Next. So we have done so far. Now let's understand some things here. In this portrait that we have drawn, this is a generic face that we have drawn. The first thing that we're going to be locating is the hairline. Always remember that the portraits we consider it as a 7x7 grid. Within the 7x7 grid, below 1, this is where the hairline is coming. So let's just let's use this. I mean, I'm using a bolder pen for this. Let's draw the hairline here. See this? And I can extend this hairline. Let's say I can extend this hairline all the way. So just leaving this one thing here and extend this hairline all the way till here, till the center. So just draw this way. Don't worry too much about hairstyles. Just represent this. This is your hairline. Remember that, guys, in a portrait. I mean, see, if you're drawing a face such as mine with a, you know, with a hair, with a bald head, it doesn't apply. But typically for a person with a regular hair growth, see, we measure hair growth. This is the hairline. In fact, you can see the hairline here. Hairline is measured by placing these 3 fingers here. This is how we placed it. For a person, when we are placing the square and when we are dividing the space as 7x7 square grid, it is at this. It is after 1 unit is where the hairline is going to come. Number 1. First rule to understand. Now, if you're drawing a woman, most often than not, hair goes upwards as well. In that case, you can just add another grid above, yes, and 1 line below. Above also the hair can grow. So if you're, let's say you're drawing a woman, so you can extend this to another 2 centimeters, and your hair will sometimes start from here or even a little bit below it. You understand? Typically, when you want to represent. First rule. Second rule, let's draw the eyes here. So the eyes, when you want to place the eyes, let's always understand that if your eye is 1 unit of this, we have divided this into equal square units. If my eye is 1 unit, I'm placing the left eye here. If it is at 1 unit, so I'll just draw random eye here. Just draw this random eye here. If this is at 1 unit, the spacing between each of my eyes will always be 1 unit. That is the spacing of one of those eyes. Always. You can just draw these eyes. Don't worry about the realism of the eye for now. Just draw a generic eye. In whatever ways you can. If it's coming like a fish, draw it like a fish. If it's coming like an almond, draw it like an almond. But make it look like, in whatever way you can just draw an eyes. Make a representation of an eyes. Okay. Always remember that horizontally looking, the spacing between each of your eyes will always be that of an eye. This is a rule of thumb to observe. Your entire face, when taken horizontally, can be divided into 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 units. 5 eyes measurement is the maximum width of your face when seen from the upfront view. Always. And reading vertically, your eyes are always at the center of the entire face. This might, for those of you who are hearing this for the first time, this might come off as a shock to you because you think your eyes are up above. No, it's not. When you're seeing your entire face from front, from top till bottom, your eyes are always at the center. Yes, are we clear till here? We'll take down notes. We'll at the end of all of this, once I'm done with this basic explanation, we'll write down notes also. Don't worry. The next thing that you're going to be doing is you are going to draw the eyebrows. So the eyebrows, once that you have done this, see, we have this one unit here. This is where you can place your eyebrows. This will be the ideal location for your eyebrows. So just make a representation of an eyebrows here. You can just make it slightly longer. Okay. The nose is always at the midway between the eye line. This is the eye line and the jaw. This is where your nose will be. For now, let's not draw a detailed nose. I just want you to draw this rectangle, this representation again here. So this bridge will just represent this eye line. Eyebrows are coming. You'll just represent this with the bridge, and then you just need to draw this thing. You can even make it slightly bigger than this 1 unit for now. This is represented. It's okay. Don't worry about the exact measurements of all of this. Just represent it. Okay. Your nose is always at the midway between the eyes and your chin. The next, you see this line here? This is your lip line. The bottom line of the lips. The bottom line of the lips is where this is where this line will come. So you can draw your lips here as this one. So just make a representation. Draw this mouth here and then let your lips come from go as far as the center of the eyes. This is how wide your lips needs to be, maximum. Don't let it extend beyond this. You'll make it look like Heath Ledger's Joker. Like you'll give him that wide grin then. You don't want that. You don't want to make it smaller than this because then it'll look like a hole. Rather, you want to extend this as wide as the center of these eyes. Yes, I remember Harini had joined one of the sessions with Madcap where I had taught this.
Correct.
And then after that, you tried a portrait.
Yeah.
So, it came somewhat like this. I remember, somewhat like this. I remember.
Yeah.
But drawing a portrait,
the same questions about how these proportions work on different ethnicities and things like that.
Yes,
I suppose
you
go into detail with the.
It's a
pictures. Yeah.
The difference is that I understand. See, these differences, these are all universal. What we are learning here is universal. Okay, this is universal. Whatever difference that are coming is going to be very, very, like, let's say it's going to come in the differences in the structure of the jawline, structure of the chin, right? Then differences can come in the shape of the nose. Some people nose is wider, some people nose is narrow, pointy, some it projects outwards. The differences can come in this eyebrows. Differences come in the shape of the head. Differences can come in the lips. All kinds of differences can come all over the place. For some people, but these are all universal. There is also another important measurement that you need to understand with this. I mean, you didn't get the portrait right the other day because then you'll have to learn, after that you'll have to learn each of these features in depth. Eyes, nose, all of this you'll have to go in depth.
Correct, yeah.
Right. So try this. How far is this? How wide is this? This is 3 units, 6 centimeters. Measure this. Again, look at this one. Let me represent this with a different color. In order to check if what you have drawn so far is correct, this is what you need to do. See that the edges of the eyes and the bottom of the lips. Bottom line of the lip. This is your line of lips. Okay. These are, you notice, are in an equilateral triangle. Let me solidify this. See, this confirms the presence of Illuminati. Always, always, and always. See, I mean, differences can occur. By an equilateral triangle, I do not mean it will be equilateral by me with millimeter, like millimeter to millimeter thing with for everyone. Differences will occur here, Harini. For different ethnicities, for different people, for different, even amongst the same ethnicity, for different people,
Yeah.
differences will occur. But more or less, it will be based on this. This can be the basic guidelines you can use to draw any portrait. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look into these readings again. One by one, let's look into these readings. Let's take down notes, everyone. First thing that we're going to be doing is the thing. Let's look at the horizontal readings. Firstly, the width of the eye. Width of the eye. Width of one eye equals 1/5 of face. Number one. Number two. I want to know, did you all know this? Gayatri drew portraits. Usha also draws portraits. Did you have these measurements in mind? I mean, did you know these when drawing, or did you just accidentally stumble across this? I'm curious.
I knew this, Niranjan.
You knew this.
Yeah, after some practice, I got to know, like.
Right. Was it from any particular place, or you just happened to stumble across this?
I think I looked into one of the videos on Pinterest. Yeah.
Okay. On
Yeah.
YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Then. Then the next thing is the so the width of the eye is 1/5 of this one. That's the main horizontal reading that we need to get it. Then the width of this eye. Width of one eye is also equals 1 unit. This 1 unit can be 2 centimeters, it could be 1 centimeter, depending on what you had drawn. It is going to be 1 unit. Okay. The next one is width of one eye equals 1 unit, which is equal to the square base of the jaw. This one, square base. This is also 1 unit. Okay. Width from the inside edge, width of from the inside edge of the left eye to the inside edge of the right eye. Eye to eye measurement is 1 unit. One unit. Yes, those are the main horizontal readings. Now, vertical readings. The vertical reading. So your position of the eyes are at halfway of the face. 3.5 units. Next, your hairline. 1 unit below the head, 1 unit. Then your nose line, your nose is, see, I typically like to remember these measurements from this point to this point rather than thinking from the top, this at this many units, this many units, just too constrained. So once you know that this is the main measurement that you need to think of, your eyes at the center. The next is the nose is at midway between the eyes and the chin. That's all that you need to know. Don't think of it as, oh, how many units here from the top. Don't even bother about this. If this is correct, then this should automatically be correct. So nose is midway. Between eyes and, so we're talking about the line of nose. Next is your lips. Your lips is at, when I talk about the lips, I'm talking about the line of the bottom lips. The bottom line of the lips. Bottom line of the lips is at midway. Between your nose and chin. Yes, so you all done so far? Ready? Yes, respond with this if you have done so far and you're already, this is your ready reference. Yes. So I will tell you the homework, the main practice exercise that you're going to have to do after the session. You have this measurement here. You have this understanding of measurement here. I want you to go back to the portrait that you have drawn. Analyze this. Analyze your portrait based off this measurement that we have drawn. If there are any, whatever areas which can be corrected based off this measurement that we have done. Let's understand that your face by the width to, oh yeah, there's one major important thing that we kind of left out. My bad. So what we left out here is that we have this ears. We even forgot to draw the ears. Yeah. So your ears needs to be, your ears will be from this level of eyebrows. You have this eyebrows here, which comes half unit above the eye, from the eye line. From there till the line of nose is where your ears will come. How wide is it going to be? It varies. If you notice my ears, for example, if you notice my ears, for example, it is the kind of ear that just pops out. Some people's ears are tucked inwards. So that is insignificant. What is significant is the measurement of the ears. It comes from this eyebrows to this line of nose. Some people draw the ears going all the way till the left line, and that looks very awkward. Only, like only Gautama Buddha and Mahavira has ears like that. Human beings, regular human beings, unless they have these, for some people you see those earlobes, they just hang downwards because they wear a heavy earring. Apart from that, it doesn't go this way. Okay, it goes from nose line to this one, line of eyebrows. How wide it is, it's subjective. That is another area where, like these differences can occur. For some people, it just, it just pops a lot outwards. Some people it doesn't. For some people, this is stuck inwards, so some people it doesn't. So that's the thing. Let's go ears from the line of eyebrows to line of nose. Yeah. Done. So I want you to go back to the portrait that you all had drawn and analyze based off this. Whatever is it, I mean, if there are any areas, then you can correct it. Let's also understand that it's not always going to be a face, will always not be this wide. See, this seems rather wide, and this is a very generic face. Sometimes it can be a little tapered in from here. It can be a little tapered in from here, but more or less, And only this is true only if you're seeing it from a perfect front angle. If you turn your face slightly, if your face is turned, then this measurement will go. Then this side measurement will go. Or even these distortions can happen between these. But more or less this holds true, and you can correct it based on this. Mostly look out for the spacing between the eyes, the position of the eyes, the spacing between the eyes. Look out for the positioning of the nose, the positioning of the lips, and all of that. Okay, and also the ears. How big are they? Is your ears too small? Chances are your ears will be only till here. Chances are your ears might be longer than it is. Look into all of that and then make the correction. I want you to all to share a before and after in the group as well. This is possible for only for those who upfront who did it, but it's okay. Even if you did, it's okay. And you can first try. Even you can use this. You can have fun with this. First, like just try drawing a portrait without using any of this. After that, make a grid paper. Okay, make a grid paper. Here's what you're going to do. You have to make a grid paper. Take another tracing paper, and then you're going to have to check on it. Like if your portrait is drawn in this paper, you're going to have to trace on top of this and then check. You can place a grid paper on top and place another layer of this on top and do it. Understand? Yes, is there any questions? Is there any questions regarding how to layer between these tracing papers? You have drawn your drawing in one paper. You're going to have to take a separate paper where you draw nothing but just the grid. Just the grid. Trace that, place it on top of this. So you have this grid thing. And then on top of that, you're going to place another tracing paper, and then you can check, and you can draw. Like you can, like you can position dice and you can draw that. You can position this and you can draw that. Since you have already drawn, you can just trace the features. Don't look for the correction in the features for now. Just correct the positions. Yes. Respond with yes if you have understood and you are ready to go with this. So the first trace the sketch, and then yeah. So Pratya, what I meant was you have drawn the you have something drawn here. So say here's your drawing. Your drawing is here. It might be with whatever proportions if you're drawn, you're going to have to take a separate paper on which you have nothing but just a trace. You're placing that. Now you can check with regards to the grid. So you notice that sometimes your eyes are closer, sometimes your eyes are further. You can see all that. Once you see that, you can place another tracing paper on top of it, and then you can trace over the sketch, incorporating these corrections. Right. On this one, you can just mark these things, and then you can incorporate it, tracing it. Understand? Yes. Got it. Got it? Got it, Pratya? Got it, Tanvi? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Good. Brilliant.
But Niranjan,
Yes,
if we
Rosina.
haven't drawn anything earlier,
Then
like me,
bad girl. What do you say? I mean, if you're not practicing the assignments that the teacher gives, what can the teacher do?
no. So
if you haven't done it, see, if you haven't done anything, it's okay. Just joking. If you haven't done anything, Rasika, can you kindly use an earphone, because I can hear a feedback of what I'm saying and it feels very weird. If you can't use an earphone, or you can keep yourself on, because I can just hear feedback of what I'm saying and I'm getting confused.
Okay, should I go on mute? Will that do?
Yeah, that works. Okay, great. Thank you. It's like hearing an echo of your own voice. Super confusing. If you haven't done it, it's okay. What you can do is you can make a tracing, you can make a grid paper, and then you can just mark out the positions on the grid paper. You can just mark out, here's where the eyes are coming, here's where the nose is coming. You can keep all of that. Keeping this proportion in mind, just sketch the drawing. Don't worry about getting the features again. Don't worry about getting the features precise. We are learning. Each week we'll be covering each of the features. Don't worry about that for now. Place the positions, locate the position, then just draw. Can you all do that? For those of you who haven't done it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is doable. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about Rasika. I'm talking about Jyoti. I'm talking about Harini. I'm talking about Shalini. I haven't seen you try out your self-portraits. You can do that.
Yeah, Niranjan, it was very less time. It's not that I didn't want to do it, but
I understand.
from Saturday evening to Sunday, it's not even like a day.
Yeah, it is just blur it. It's okay. Still, we have one more lesson to cover here. Okay, so the next topic that we are going to learn is the side view. The front view, as far as the 3/4 view is concerned, when you want to draw it, it's a little more complex. And we cannot exactly say where it's going to come because 3/4 is very arbitrary. See, I mean, this can be a 3/4 view. Even this can be a 3/4 view. So how do I exactly say how much wide is going to be between each of this? Not possible. So when we study these proportions, conventionally we just study the front, we study the profile. And this is standard. Front is 0 degrees, this is 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees. 89 degrees is not profile view. 70 degrees is not profile view. 95 degrees is not profile view. 90 degrees front, 0 degrees. Next, let's learn the 90 degrees. How all is going to come, where is going to project out, where is going to project in front, where is going to project outwards. So let's do this, guys. Take out another tracing paper. Tracing papers are extremely important. Or if you don't have a tracing paper, just you can again just it's easy if you can just trace along this. If you don't have a tracing paper, just quickly draw the square grids again. If you have pins, you can use those pins to hold these papers together because when you're working with 3 sets of tracing papers, chances are they can, like go. You look at these paper clips, which you can just pin these papers together. Those are very, very helpful.
Niranjan, can you change your camera to your working?
Yeah, to me, yes.
Thank
yes,
you.
Yes. I realize that right now.
You want us to do this along with you, Niranjan?
Yes. I mean, don't you want to do it?
Yeah, of course.
I saw your acrylic painting. It was extremely beautiful. The light study. It looked very realistic. It looked very realistic. Very nice.
Charcoal, Niranjan, it is.
Charcoal it is.
Charcoal.
Oh, but I saw some brush thing. Why is
No,
that?
we thought we learn portraits and then incorporate charcoal into portraits also.
Okay. Yeah, you can do it. Cross-hatching with charcoals. It would look good. I will send you examples of cross-hatched portraits with charcoal, drawn with charcoal. It will look very good. You can apply the same technique. So here we are learning inking plus drawing. You can apply the same techniques. So here's what.
All three of us are learning. Usha, Malanti, and myself.
Very nice. You're all serious. I mean, a lot of you, the way that you're going, you're going to progress way ahead of these art students and others. Way ahead. So again, let's do the same. Let's repeat what we did earlier. I want you all to locate the center of this. Locate the center of this. I'm drawing this on a separate tracing paper. Okay. Locate the center of this. And then tracing the center. Okay. So I will also draw a horizontal line along the center. Now horizontal line on the center. Then I will find the center of this as well. And I'll find the center again from here to here. Okay, so we have placed these basic lines here, basic guidelines here. In addition, I mean, to make these exercises more fun, you can again attempt a self-portrait of you from the profile view, and then try these same corrections, the profile and the front. But regardless, that is if you have all that time. If not, at least do the front view. The front view is most important. Okay. Again, let's look at the from. What you say? The first thing that you're going to be doing is, let's draw a circle. Let's draw a circle that you take from here, from the top, and then you're going to leave one unit here. You're going to leave one unit here to the left, and you're just going to draw a circle that goes all the way till the back. I have this. I'm just leaving one unit. I'm just going to draw a circle that goes all the way till the back. So I had told you this earlier. Don't take the compass. You don't need the aid of a compass or anything for this. Okay. Yeah. So I had told you this earlier. Your head, when seen from the profile view, is bigger than what a lot of us would expect. We tend to make our head smaller or anything. It is in fact a big full round circle that you're going to draw. A big full round circle. So based off this is what you're going to do. This is your eye line. And what had we learned regarding this? So this projects outwards. This goes inwards. You can draw this here. And then this comes from here. This will go in, and you will add let's add a slight neck here. So just curve it. So from here you're going to have to draw a nice hook that goes in. A nice hook. Don't circumscribe along this, just draw a nice hook from the center. So your guide using this guideline is from here. So you're going to leave 2 units here. You're going to draw this. This is going to be a neck. You're going to curve this to this direction. You're going to curve this to this direction. Curve, come in.
Then what's the radius of this circle?
Don't worry about the radius. Don't worry about the radius of the circle. Don't worry about the radius of the circle. You just need to leave this, what you say. You just need to leave this 1 unit here, and then this needs to go here. That's it. Get it?
Only 1 unit on the side, is it?
Yeah. So you're going to leave 1 unit here.
On
This
both
if
the
this
sides.
is on this. Here it's going to come all the way till the back.
Oh, you're doing the side face, Niranjan, no?
Yeah, we're drawing the side. We're drawing the face from the side.
Okay.
Niranjan, the below bottom two lines, could you just repeat the measurements for those?
The bottom two lines.
Is it
Yes,
like
yes.
the previous one or
Same
this
thing. Same thing. See, okay. So in order to avoid confusion, I will draw it with regards to what we had done previously. Is here. See this? Notice that on this, so this is the face from the front, this is the face from the profile. I have just drawn these lines where I had previously drawn. Along where my eye line is here, I have again drawn another line. Right, I'm just drawing the same thing. I've drawn another line along the same point of eye line. In between, I've drawn another, in between another, like that. The same thing that I had done previously. Find the center, draw the center line, and then that is the first thing that you're going to do. Second, here and here it's going to go. Like in between this, what you say, in between the center and this bottom is where you're going to place the next one. Like that. That. In between the center and the bottom, you're going to place this. In between this and this, you're going to place this. Correct exact center.
Niranjan, just
Right.
1 minute. Let's finish this.
Yeah, you don't worry. Are we going too fast?
Niranjan, I have one question.
Uh-huh.
So so between the eye and the chin, halfway point is where the nose ends.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Right, and then from there to where the last line, the last black line you have drawn at the bottom is where the mouth will typically come.
Yes. So notice how I'm showing this, Harini.
Yeah.
The mouth, the bottom. This is the lips.
Right.
Right? See the mouth that's coming here. See the lips that's coming here. And then the mouth. So
right. Sorry.
this line is what is it? What do you call it? This is the lower line. And this is the line of the
and then
lower,
the chin will come drop beyond.
and then
below that, right.
yes. Okay. And the chin will come here, 1 unit here below. See? Like that. So you can leave this 1 unit space here, and then you can pull this out here. So like this. So let me ink this. So your head in profile, it is rather largish. Don't worry about the radius of the circle. Make sure that this touches the, you can all see the grid below this. It touches the behind of this, the bottom, the last line of this. The head needs to come here. It needs to come, and then you draw the neck 2 units away from here. Then you draw this. Let this be wide as well. Let this be wide as well. Don't flatten it here. Like minor differences can come, but don't flatten it here. The point is, you are going to stop this. You're going to stop this here, like shy of 1 unit from here. What you should not do is, don't let it come this way. Please don't draw like that. Please don't also draw this way. Right, make it elegant. Make the curve come elegantly onto this. It's touching here. And then from here, you are going to have to push this slightly outwards where the thing will come. And then the nose. So from here, just stepping it inwards for this eye line, your nose. The bottom limit of the nose is where this line is going to come. Your nose needs to go out 1 unit outside of this. Don't let it stop here. Don't let it stop here. Let it out 1 unit outside. This is the most important reading when seen in profile. Okay. Your entire head from this to this occupies 7 units. This is at the back, and then here your head stops 1 unit in front, but your nose extends 1 unit here. This eyebrows just bumps out a little. So we had learned that this looks like a nice little step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had learned that.
So the nose is cutting halfway in the grid, the second last grid.
Yes, the nose, this is the line of nose, right? If you compare the front and the profile side by side, which we'll do, it will be very, very clear. Are you able to see your face? Yeah. And are you able to see yourself drawing a portrait? Now.
Very much.
Okay, you do this. A lot of you were lost. A lot of you I noticed were lost after yesterday's anatomical class.
The technical terms were too much.
Yeah, don't worry about the terms. I mean, don't, because I just want to, I cannot say this bone, this bone. Like if there is an idea that, okay, there is something that exists here, you know, I have term that I can just use it. Okay, so let this come out 1 unit here. And then what are you going to do? Okay, so how wide should this be? Let's get a perspective. Let's get a perspective check here. Let this come all the way till here. You're going to leave. See, 1 unit from 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave 4 units here. This will be good. Leave 4 units here. Let this come here. From here, you're left 1 unit. Let this come over here like this. This will be better. See? You're leaving 1, 2, 3, 4 units. This is coming. And then you're leaving 1 unit here. So you're connecting this 2 and this one with the diagonal. Yes? Are you all able to catch up? Yeah. Meghalai, Jyoti, Harini, Rosina, everyone's able to catch up. Pretty cool. It reminds me of those olden times, you know, like with just a few students whom I know very well. I can just, okay, pretty cool. So we have done this. And what had we learned regarding the ears? The ears, the bottom limit of the ears is this, right? Is this line of the nose. And where is the top limit? Your eyebrows. So if your eyes see, your eyes in profile is going to come here. So you're going to have to draw this in a way that, you know, don't let it extend all the way till here. Inscribe it within this one. Your entire eyes when seen from the profile isn't even that big. So just your entire eyes has to be inscribed within this. So yeah, this comes here. See? Don't let it touch any of these. Just inscribe it within this. You're going to have to see, this is your limit. Within this, you're going to leave some space. I mean, imagine if this came all the way till here. It would look weird, wouldn't it? Imagine if this came all the way till here. Then it would look weird. So leave some space and then inscribe it within this. Your eyes. And your eyebrows. Okay. Regarding your ears, what you're going to do is, your ears, the limit is here. So you can, again, you can draw some dotted lines that to just show that limit. This is your upper limit, and here's your lower limit. Regarding the position where it is going to come, this is your thing. Your ears will not come here. Your ears in fact will be placed at here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units from this one is where you're going to place here, and let it cover 1 unit. Let it cover 1 unit. Don't draw that. Don't worry about the exact shape of the ear. It's very easy to draw. We'll cover it in another session. For now, just represent an ear. See? Perfect ears. The placement, the positioning is what matters. Don't worry about the precision. Worry about the positioning. Okay? How many units have we left from this? We left 1, 2, 3, 4. Or within the drawing, it's going to be 3. 3 something units is going. We are going to leave. This is your head and profile. And of course, let's not. We need not even end it at this one. We can. We need not even end it at this. We can.
सुबह 10 बजे आओ बोलो ना मालूम नहीं मेरे को
Hey Mumtaz, can you kindly keep yourself on mute? Done. So just like just draw generic hair. Don't worry about the hairstyle. Just draw generic hair. Or if you want, you can add some nice funky hairstyle. Doesn't serve any purpose. So what are the units? What are the readings? Have you done so far? Yes.
Yes, Niranjan.
Yes. So now let us compare the head and.
Just 1 minute, Niranjan, if you can keep the.
Sure. No problem.
Niranjan just need to do the hair.
Yeah, no problem. You have got the key measurements correct, right?
Would you mind putting it on the grid paper?
Yeah.
The side
Yes.
profile and the grid paper.
Yeah, okay. The side profile in the grid paper. I will share these images in the group. I will also share with you another PDF which contains a much neater diagram of this. All right. You can use that as your cheat sheet.
Okay.
So we can make a grid, keep these trace papers, and then just keep practicing.
Just keep practicing. Yes. You can keep a very basic grid paper, and then you can keep practicing on tracing papers. This will be a thing. Or like you can just draw on paper and you can check with the grid paper. You can draw on a regular paper, you can just keep checking with the grid. Whatever approach works for you. You just need to keep that grid paper as a ready measurement.
Thank you.
Okay. So now shall we take down the notes onto this? So this is what we're going to look in a 7x7 unit grid. In 7x7 unit grid, let's look at each of these vertical readings. You all know the vertical readings. The vertical readings, the positions are pretty much, like it's already been standardized. We've learned this. The position of the hairline is 1 unit here. The eye is at half unit. No, we need not repeat all of that again. Let's just consider the horizontal readings here. Okay, the vertical readings are already stated. It's done and stated with. The horizontal readings, yes, Usha? You had some questions? No?
No,
Yes?
no, Niranjan, no, Niranjan.
That is for that, I suppose. Okay. So the horizontal readings, what we are going to do is, guys, your head, the forehead, okay, the part that projects the most out of the forehead is at 1 unit. Forehead is at 1 unit behind. Is that 1 unit behind? Okay. Then your distance between the eyes and this one is half a unit. It's just half a unit. Then your eye starts. eyes and this nose, or this eyes and this extreme end of this nose is more than 1 unit. I mean, that doesn't relate. We just need to compare this and this. This is half unit. Front edge of the eye. Front edge of eye to nose. Ye to half unit. Nose projects out 1 unit. Okay, the nose always projects out 1 unit from seen from this one. So the differences that occur for some people, the nose is a little more pointy. For some people, it's more rounded. For some people, it's tapered. It's narrow. So whatever it is. Then your main skull. So your main skull, when you consider this, so look at this. This entire thing, when you consider this one, this is in fact, see, it is 6 units. See, this is your skull. Your skull is located here. So when you compare this is 6 units. Again, it's based on this analysis. What else? Your ears. Ears is at 4 units from the face. 1, 2, 3, 4. And ears can be 1 unit wide. 4 units from face, 1 unit wide. All right, guys. So that's about it for today's session. Yes, I really hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think of today's session. You can reach out to me first. You can tell Santari. You can share your opinions right now. Tell me, what do you think? Was it helpful? Yes, it was wonderful. Thank you so much, Beena. Are you hearing about these measurements and proportions for the first time? I want to know. This is my first time I'm teaching portraits to a larger scale at this level, and I want to improve. I want to learn as well.
Yes, Niranjan, I'm hearing it for the first time. And in fact, while you were showing the things, I was just taking a photo of mine and I was really surprised, I think, with the ear length.
With all of this.
Yeah,
right?
the ear length especially. I have heard in a session before you had mentioned the eye thing, that the distance between your eyes. Yeah, but the ear thing, I was also surprised. Like, I think we always underestimate the size of the ears.
Always and always, we do that.
What was new?
Then I have a question.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mananti. Yes, you want. Yes.
Hi, Niranjan. So I have a question regarding profiles, right? So you just before we started on the profile picture, you said there's always the flat. What did you say? 180 degrees and then the 90 degrees, right?
1 degree.
That is the face.
The face.
Profile.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. But then there are images, like even if you're doing portraits or if you're looking at photographs, then there are people who are sort of looking
like this
sideways,
like this.
And then there is parts of the features that are particularly the eyes. There is some portion of the eyes that are visible and some that are not. So
how do we do that?
is there, yes, how do we do that?
Yeah,
like how do we do different profiles and how do you vary it? Or if you're looking at drawing like a group of people who are sitting, then they're likely to be looking in different directions. And
how do we do all of that? I get it. What we are trying to, Harini, that's a very good question here. What we are doing here is getting the basic measurements of the face. So these are all codified, regardless of what we think. There are certain standards, like our entire build is based on these ones. In order to draw different types, so the same thing. You can, once you have these understood, once you have these ingrained to your muscle memory. So, for example, when you start riding a cycle, do you ride a cycle?
Yeah, well, I used to, not anymore, but yeah.
Not anymore. Okay. Okay. So you first ride with 4 wheels.
Mhm.
You ride with 3 wheels. Perfect balance. Then you graduate to 4 wheels. You take 2 wheels. After that 2 wheels, then there are people who ride 1 wheels. Not everyone goes for that. But then 2 wheels, we can leave one hand and we can ride. You've seen that. Then you've seen people do a Shah Rukh Khan while riding in this 2 wheel cycle. So how do you find the balance? The balance is supposed to be here, right? How do you find the balance? It's just through different trying, like drawing over and over and over again, the movement becomes automatic. The balance just comes.
Yeah. So I think
So-
what I was trying to ask you more was, is there like the rule of perspectives? Is there something like that that
Okay.
applies to human portraiture as well?
Right. See, okay, so it depends on when you're seeing in perspective very easily. Foreshortening is a real thing. And when I'm seeing this, if I'm seeing this front from, so my camera is here. So here's my webcam. If this, now the way this is looking at me down here, I cannot apply the standard measurements. Then the faces will come in perspective. Then the
Right,
foreshortening will happen. Foreshortening will happen in the result. I am not sure if there are any standard codified rules or measurements for that. It can't be, because I mean perspective is very arbitrary, like slight 1 degree angle and it goes. So
yeah,
it's not possible to make standardized measurements for that. You just draw so much that it becomes part of your muscle memory, and then like by just looking you're able to say what comes where. So that's how you draw these faces which are turned down, which are turned up. You can, after understanding this, you can try faces that are tilted down, slightly tilted looking up. You can try all these variations.
right.
You can try all the variations. Always a good place to start with would be the front face, basic front face. From then you can keep trying different things. You can try 3/4 view, bend down, 3/4 view, looking up. We will also try practicing these different organs at place. Your eyes, your
Yeah.
nose, all of this in different positions. That you'll slowly build a muscle memory. That's it. Right?
Niranjan, one more question. So
Yeah.
I understand that these are like guidelines and measurements. Will these be applicable for a baby as well?
Oh, no. I mean, see, when a baby is concerned, these will vary. When a
Like,
baby
can
is
we have, what I'm asking is, can we have a
Very good
similar
question.
feet for a baby's?
Yes. See, when a baby, so for a baby, these are going to be different. The body proportions will be different. The eye proportions will also be different. It's not going to be the same as what we had drawn. For babies, if you notice, the eyes are larger. So for a baby, the spacing, see, okay, so I remember this. Tanvi just shared that first image, my self-portrait. I don't know, there was a filter with which she shared. If you notice, that looked like a baby face. Why? Because the spacing between the eyes are very close. When you're drawing a baby, their eye seems to be larger. And the spacing is lesser than it is. Now, what you say, it is at a certain growth stage, and this is something that is very different. And I think we can discuss that in length. We can discuss that in length in the Tuesday session, how it's going to look for a baby. Would that work?
Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah. That's a very good question. Excellent question, Rasika. We'll do that.
Niranjan, I have a question here.
Mhm.
Does it always follow that measurement, like 1 unit for eyes, 1 unit for the distance between two eyes, and
Mhm.
on the corner edge, 1 unit you have shown now?
Yes.
So
See.
sometimes some people's eyes are bigger, some people's eyes are smaller.
Right.
In that case,
Yeah, bigger, smaller differences will come in between how much their eyes are open, the degree to which their eyes are open. This is not going to change.
okay,
What is going to change is
this
how
measurement
much.
is always same.
Yeah. See, for some people, their eyes are wide and open. It's full and round. For some people, it's closed and narrow. If you look at the Chinese eyes, Mongol eyes, they don't have the upper eyelid. It just looks like a slit. Right? These are where the differences are going to occur. Differences will not occur in the width of these eyes. No. It will not occur. It's going to be the same.
Okay.
What else? Yes. Single eye. Yeah. Tanvi is an expert at that. Chinese, Korean, K-pop, all that.
Niranjan, I have one more question.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. So, if there is someone who is specially abled and we're supposed to draw their portrait,
Someone
then who's differently abled, as in someone.
Right. Oh, very good question. I mean, by differently abled, you mean someone whose proportions are different, right? I mean, deformities is what you're asking about.
Right. Someone suffering from Down syndrome,
Yes.
or someone has a cleft lip, or something like that. So, how do we adjust this? Matlab, I want to adjust in a grid only. I'm sure we can leverage the grid only.
Of course, we can leverage the grid. Through consistent practice, we will be just as I tell you. See, now you're able to, when you look at an object, you're able to see it as different contours, you're able to perceive it as different tones of light and shade. Aren't you able to? Right? I mean, through attending these pen illustration sessions, the typical pen illustration sessions, when you look at an object, you're able to perceive it as in terms of light and shade. Now, I'm telling you it's possible. If you just try, it's possible for you to make it thoda sa hatke se. You can just make slight differences on it as per your wish. You'll be able to bring in twerks, and this is as per your wish. Those are the artist touches. I have once seen an artist who adds a golden tint to all of his portraits. He says, I asked him why he does it. He says it just adds a shine to the portraits, and people like it. My clients like it, so why not? So you see that these are the slight artist touches. The point that I'm trying to say is, once you are so thoroughly done with the proportions, when I look at a portrait, I am able to distinguish. Like I can switch between different modes. I can switch between a mode in which I just want to see the contours. It's like, you know, like my brain will process, my eyes will process, be like a screen. Computer screen, my brain will process it like a computer. I'm able to switch between the thing in which I'm able to see the grids and things, all of that. Once you're able to view, like adjust your view accordingly, you'll be able to immediately perceive it and bring it on paper. It's a skill that you develop through consistently. It's a very intuitive thing. It's very similar to your coding, where you are able to immediately perceive how it's going to work. You know, by just that's it.
Okay.
Are we clear? Yes.
Niranjan, one different question. What about the review system? Where are we actually supposed to upload?
Yeah. So regarding the review system, we are going to work on this thing called Padlet. As till now, you don't have to worry about for this week at least, there isn't anything that you have to draw, practice, and ask for reviews. You know the measurement, you need to try. You need to try it on self-portrait again, and then you can get it. By this time, regarding the review system, Sansari will help you come out with will help you set up this thing called Padlet. We are going to use a separate tool called Padlet, where your work will be shared, and it's going to be a more centralized approach. So we will help you set it up. Don't worry.
Okay, so it's from next week. So till then we can use WhatsApp.
Okay. No problem. Until now, you can use WhatsApp. You can share your work. At this point, it's not about asking for feedbacks and reviews. It's just sharing, showing others that I did it, and showing me I did it.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah. Most importantly, I want to tell you this for the upcoming week. So this Tuesday session we are having at 7 p.m., not 7:30 p.m. 7 p.m. Let's keep it at 7 p.m. because we have more time for these sessions. See, right now the session is 1.5 hours long. So when we have, and that is just talk, like there isn't any active live feedback. When I want to give some live feedback, sessions can extend up to 2 hours as well, minimum 2 hours as well. So 7 p.m. will give us that time. 7 to 9 is when we're going to have these sessions. Secondly, for the upcoming week alone, we are going to have the session at 3 p.m. Okay, 3 p.m. Now, this is this adjustment is happening for a very, very special event that's happening that I'm very proud to announce, and I invite you all to join in. So a lot of you have been asking for tarot readings from Sanchari. For this upcoming week, weekend, we are doing a workshop with Dialogues and Assistant Dialogues, where we make a tarot-based illustration in combination with a tarot card reading. This is something that we have never tried in the past and are super excited to try. And I invite you all to join in. All right. So the link will be shared. You can try. It's going to be a very, a very different soulful experience. It's going to be from that session is from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So our session will be from 3 to 5. All right. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, Niranjan. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Niranjan. Thank you, Niranjan. Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Niranjan. It was fun.
Thank you. Glad you enjoyed this. Yes. Analyze, okay? Analyze. It's going to be fun when you draw your portrait and analyze this. Try the front view and the profile view for the maximum thing.
Thank you, Niranjan.
Welcome. Bye-bye. And show up on Tuesday. Tuesday, we'll do some practice exercises. You'll have to take certain printouts for Tuesday. Keep a watch on the group. We will announce. You'll have to take certain printouts for Tuesdays.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.